Redo You, the podcast that teaches you tools and strategies so you can build the confidence to rediscover and reinvent yourself. With me, Emma Hull, your favorite life coach. Each week, I'll introduce a concept that you can implement right away so you can live your most authentic life. Let's get started. Are you struggling to make a decision? Is there something you've been trying to decide for some time that's just weighing on you and hanging over you? Those kind of decisions start taking up processing space in your brain, and they stop you from being able to focus on other tasks. It impacts your productivity in all kinds of areas, and you start stressing out over this decision and procrastinating about making it. I'm going to share with you a tool today that helps you to make decisions confidently, decisions that you feel good about because you've thought them through thoroughly. I call it the confident decision maker. Here's how it works. Take whatever the decision is that you're trying to make and list out all of the possible options. What are some of the solutions? I'll tell you about my client, Loreen. She was trying to decide what to do with her home. She's living in a big house, the house where she raised her family and lived with her husband until he died. And in a couple of years' time, she's going to be moving into a condo that hasn't been built yet. So she's trying to figure out what to do in the meantime. Her options are to stay in her house as she is, to rent out part of the house, to rent out the entire house and move into a rented condo while she waits, or to sell the house now and move into a rented condo while she waits. So she wrote each of these options on a sheet of paper, a separate sheet of paper, and you make 2 columns on each sheet of paper. What are all the possible problems? How could things go wrong? And then in the other column, you look at how could things go right. What you need to do, though, is start out by looking at all the ways that this could go wrong. So for each of your problem, or you've got your decision and you've written each of your possible solutions on a separate sheet of paper, do that left-hand column first. Write out everything that could possibly go wrong. And get really detailed here. Think about ridiculous things, but they're things that are in your brain taking up processing space. So write them down, get them out of your brain and onto that sheet of paper. Go from option A, B, C, D, and list out the problems for each of them, staying in that problem mindset. Our brains are great about finding problems. And so instead of skipping around, let's focus and use our brain at what it's so brilliant at here. Find those problems. Once you've finished listing those problems, take a moment to shift your energy. So move around, do some jumping jacks, go for a walk, take a few deep breaths in through your nose, sighing out through your mouth. And then take a moment to think about something nice, a beautiful, relaxing place, maybe your favorite beach vacation, maybe what it's like to cuddle your dog. Shift your energy into a positive, happy, joyful state of energy. And from that place, you're going to work on that what could possibly go right column. And here for each of those solutions, you're going to write out all the ways that this could turn out brilliantly. Let yourself again pour out all those ideas, even ones that might seem a little foolish, and share those on your list. As you're doing this, you may have already clearly arrived at your decision. Loreen did. But wait, go through the whole exercise. Don't overlook it. Keep going, because this is about clearing out that space in your brain. When you've finished, read through each of your lists, and it will be clear to you which is the one that is your preferred decision. And then if for some reason that isn't possible to implement, you've already thought through the other possible solutions. And so your brain isn't in drama when circumstances dictate that you go for option C. You already know what's good about it and what the potential challenges are. So take the time to use the confident decision maker to think through any decisions that you're trying to work on so that you know that you've examined it objectively from all angles and you're making the best possible decision for you.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Reader You podcast. Remember to subscribe, rate, and review, and tell a friend, because together we rise even higher. See you next Friday.